This is Jen the Hippie back with another video. So if you read the title, okay, you know what we're talking about. Hopefully you cannot hear the construction in the back. Okay. So we're just going to be talking about just a brief discussion about the realities of being in an interracial relationship, and I think you would definitely be able to know what I'm saying, specifically if you're like in the same situation as me, like you are a black woman in a relationship with a white man. Yes, that is where I am at. So the reason why I wanted to actually talk about this is because if you're someone like me, maybe you grew up always liking white dudes, you know what I'm saying? Always liking white dudes. Personally, I didn't really have a preference, but I also really did lean towards white dudes. Just what was around my environment, so that's what I did kind of gravitate towards. But so thinking about like being in an interracial relationship versus like actually being in one is totally different. And I think maybe people who are actually in interracial relationships will be able to just like really understand what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go. So I did write like a couple of this is my Sunday to-do list. Oh my gosh. I did write a couple of just realities. I'm just going to like go from the cranium here because I would say I'm just like relatively well spoken, so I can just like throw it out, okay? So, being in an interracial relationship, specifically being a black woman with a white man, I would say for your whole relationship, there's just always going to be some people who side eye. Not because what you're doing is wrong, but just because we do still live in a very segregation coded society. Do you know what I'm saying? That does favor normal stereotypes. Do you know what I'm saying? Does favor very normal things. I would say the people that I know and the people that I love don't judge me the way people who don't know me do. But, you know, you will be judged by maybe, like for me, say, other black people, maybe even some black people I'm related to, do question my validity as a black person because I'm with a white man. I don't really know what my boyfriend's side of the coin is. I do feel like for him, he knows that he loves me and he knows that he's committed to me. Do you know what I'm saying? He knows that he's loyal. We just have those values for each other, and that is the foundation of our like healthy relationship. But I will say, I do think it's different for everyone, and I think maybe like when you are just like in general like maybe a white partner or spouse, that it's different. You know, you might not see specific people who might be a little bit prejudiced. My boyfriend is super smart, so he knows the people that are prejudiced. He knows people who might not accept us, and he always has my back, and he's always there for me. And so I definitely feel lucky to have him, and we just have a relationship that we really value, and we just know we're committed to each other forever. So pretty great. But so yeah, so I'm not saying all this to be like, no, you should not be in an interracial relationship, because honestly, you should do what makes you happy. And me being in an interracial relationship, that makes me happy. Do you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't do things just because other people around you are telling you shouldn't. Do you know what I'm saying? What you value most is what's going to make you feel whole in the end. And so what other people have to say, that external validation, is literally not even important in the long term. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not sustainable to even really care about what people think about you in that kind of way. I wrote down another thing. Let's see. What did I write down? All this freaking wind is blowing my freaking paper all around. Privileges and differences. Look. We don't live in a society where privileges don't exist. So I would just say, like, in a general means, depending what race you are, there is going to be just differences. I would say me and my boyfriend are pretty much like, we do have a lot of similarities, but we do have a lot of differences. Specifically for me, I was middle class. I grew up middle class pretty much. Two working parents, two parents who went to college, and same did he, but it still does look a little bit different. Do you know what I'm saying? It looks different than the way you would probably regularly recognize it. And I'm not going to go deep into it because, look, I may be sharing this brief information, but I am not displaying my life on the internet in that kind of way. I'm not like, do you know what I'm saying? I do like commentary a little bit, but honestly, I'm not someone who wants to just throw my life out there. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm a creative, and that's what I say. I'm a creative. I like to post things publicly, but I don't want to be a public entity. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, last thing is positive things, okay? So, like I said, we don't live in a society that's like without prejudice, without racial discrimination and things of that. But I would say the pros, in my personal opinion, outweighs the cons. Of course, that depends like what your relationship dynamic is. And of course, I said mine is, I love my relationship dynamic. And honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the entire world. Yeah. But so if you do find that person, if you are in an interracial relationship, depending if you're in an interracial relationship with a white man and you're a Latina, or vice versa, or you're like in the situation as me, you're black and you're with a white dude. When you have that relationship with someone that cares about you, and you guys are committed, you guys is locked in, you know what I'm saying? It's worth it. Do you know what I'm saying? And literally anything anyone else says really doesn't fucking matter. Do you know what I'm saying? It really genuinely does not matter at all. Because, and it's just like that, I would say, with any other relationship. Do you know what I'm saying? And also, that kind of reminds me, when I was like, before I was in an interracial relationship and I was looking at them from the outside, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I feel like I would want that someday. And when I got that, it's completely different than what you think it is. When you're viewing an interracial relationship from the outside, you feel like there's a lot of emphasis on, oh my gosh, he's white, oh my gosh, she's black. But when you're actually in an interracial relationship, you literally don't see the color at all. And I know you know when like everyone was saying like, oh, I don't see color, da 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 da. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like, I see my boyfriend before I see that he's white. Do you know what I'm saying? He sees me as his girlfriend before he sees me as being a black girl. Of course, we're aware of our races. We make jokes about it. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it's not like, oh my gosh, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you are sometimes more hyper aware about that stuff when you're like in public, or when you're with like family members you're not really close to, you know what I'm saying? But overall, you really do just see that person as just a person, and literally nothing more else than that, especially if you have that very, very, very deep connection, you know what I'm saying? That's just like not anything you would change for the whole entire world. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I wanted to make this video just because I just had some thoughts in my head. Look, I always have thoughts in my head. Doesn't mean I'm always gonna share it on the internet, you know what I'm saying? But I just felt like it was valid. I felt like it was something I wanted to share. It was a beautiful day, finally, you know what I'm saying? I live in the Midwest, so tornado warning like 2 days ago, but look, it's 60 degrees right now, so we're just gonna vibe with it, you know? But yeah, before my iPhone runs out of storage, because this video is like 10 minutes long, I'm just gonna end it. If you like my video, like, comment, subscribe. I can't promise that I'll just like continue posting, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, wanted to spread my thoughts, and honestly just wanted to have this to like look back at my YouTube channel and watch it like 20 years down the road. So yeah, thank you for listening. Love you. Bye.